The Australian giant supermarkets are playing you for fools. They're practicing price fixing, they artificially inflate their pricing to mislead you into deceiving discount, and it looks like they might be cooking the book to save an astronomical amount of money on their corporate tax income. So today let's dig into it, and why not compare some of the grocery pricing between Woolworths and Paddy's Market in a market. Let's do it. We are talking about Woolworths, but Coles is exactly the same, just lower numbers. Today we are talking in $1 billion, so I need to remind you what is $1 billion. We hear a billion here and there, but that means nothing to most of the people. So what does a supermarket? A supermarket, pretty much a business model, is all about receiving goods at your warehouse, transporting those goods into your supermarket, placing those goods onto the shelves, deciding on the pricing of the goods. Your client walk in, pay for the product and leave. It's pretty easy, right? So why are we paying so much money for this? Now let's recap Woolworths numbers. They have 24 million customers visiting their stores weekly, which is about 1.27 billion visits yearly. Their total sales for last year was $64.3 billion for only $1.27 billion profit margin, which is 2.5%. That's where lies all the issue. It doesn't sound real. There is no businesses that will run with a 2.5% margin. There's no way. A business that's considered as a good business will be anywhere between 20 and 30+%. So Woolworths making only $1.27 billion profits is absolutely ridiculous. And it sounds fake. So 2.5%, they're already playing us for fools. They're paying minimum amount of taxes and making maximum benefits. Because us, the customers, we did realize that the spending into groceries increased crazily since the last couple years, especially during COVID. So what could explain such a ridiculous profit margin? I'm thinking they might have established some offshore haven company in a tax haven, so they're paying 0 or 2, 3, 5% tax corporate. They invoice themselves here in Australia with some massive invoices, which increase their expenses and reduce their profit margin, obviously. Anyway, meanwhile, they receive the high assurance rating from the ATO. That's absolutely mind-blowing. I feel like there is something dodgy going on. So now let's talk about the price fixing. Woolworths is practicing price fixing with Coles. So pretty much what they do, they have the same pricing on many different items in their supermarket, which doesn't create any competition. And us, the consumer, get screwed at the end of the day. So that's another thing that Woolworths is doing that is pretty bad, but they still do it. They did get a fine for price fixing, but I can't remember the figures, but it was something ridiculous, a very small amount. Now I'm wondering what people think about nationalizing the supermarket. It's a question that was asked to the Labour not long ago, and also a question raised by the Prime Minister after he was asked some question that has nothing to do with this. A totally different question, but you know how the politicians do, always answer something else and never answer the question straight. He was actually criticizing the opposition for wanting to nationalize the supermarket and the energy sector. He was saying that it's going to destroy jobs, inflate pricing, a lot of ridiculous things. I think it's important that we nationalize the supermarket, so we don't have any more supermarkets that are owned and controlled by shareholders that are located anywhere in the world and that have no any interest on protecting the Australian consumer. All they want is to make more profit. If we nationalize the supermarket, the price won't inflate as much as it is now because there is no more stock market behind it. There is no more people trying to make profit out of it. Just as a reminder, the Woolworths stock market price on the ASX, I think is about $32 at the moment, and it's always been between 25 and 32. It doesn't seem to be a great investment. The price doesn't fluctuate that much, but still somehow the shareholders are controlling the pricing on our groceries. So what can we do now to pressure Woolworths to decrease their pricing on many items? There is ways. We can start by not buying their stocks. So if you have stocks with Woolworths, just sell them. Don't invest into this company. If you want groceries to be cheaper, let's stop buying maybe bananas. If we stop buying bananas for a month, the price goes down. If we stop buying chips for a month, pricing goes down. They have no choice. We are the end consumer. We actually can control the market. It's just a matter of boycotting certain products all at the same time, for a month or 2, 3 months, maybe even less. But their sales will drop and they will have to decrease the pricing.